And we have this situation where no matter what we design, we can design a Dubai in Joburg, but until we can get the spaces safe and secure, basically restoring law and order, we cannot develop anything. We will be lying to ourselves. If we don't own the spaces and reclaim them, there is no way that we can move forward. Think about it this way.
How do you do that, though?
If I had 100 million rand,
What would you do with it?
I would take 1,000 young people in one specific area, train them in law enforcement, a 12-week training program where it's studying law enforcement. Basically, it's a certificate in law enforcement to understand all the laws and bylaws, and then work on their minds and mindset. What is South Africa? What do we have to lose? Why should we save this place? So we can't go to them and say, we're going to give you jobs. Just give it. So walk in, give them some training, give them a solution.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
Just do it.
You said it yourself, Rob. Vote for proof, not promises.
Correct.
Any party in South Africa with a spear in its logo must be ended.
Boom.
Boom.
Mike GATVOL, welcome to Cape Town.
Thank you so much for the invite, Rob. I appreciate it.
When did the GATVOL lightning bolt hit you?
In 2024, I started SA Youth Economy.
SA Youth Economy.
Yes. So the idea with SAYE was to empower young people. So I started it with the idea of getting young architects, civil engineers, quantity surveyors, interior designers to work on projects, call them concepts. So work on all these concepts that we can look for funding for.
Got it.
But what I really found satisfying about it, Rob, was that I had one guy called Luyanda, who all his life has been in KZN. And then one December, he decided to come to Four Ways to see one of his relatives. I meet up with him. We started working on some projects. So what I would do is every week, I'll just put them on our socials, especially on LinkedIn, what the stuff that they're working on, do some videos, do pictures. And you got a job, a full-time job in Four Ways with an architecture company. Boom. Boom. And then this is within about 3 months. And then that's when it got me thinking that, you know what, maybe I should just
do more of that.
Yeah, do more of that, where we get somebody new, and then whatever we're working on, we just put it on social media, especially on LinkedIn, so people can see what they're doing and then put them on our website.
So what's the website?
saye.org.za.
saye.org.za.
Yes.
Go look at it.
So within another month, another one gets a job. So from the 8 that we started with, 6 of them have jobs as we speak.
Brilliant.
Yes. So as I'm working on this project with these kids, I started thinking that, you know, we have all these big dreams, designing all these new spaces, but we might be missing something. How do we develop all these things while we still have dirty spaces that are not safe with crime? And that's how GATVOL came to me.
Okay.
So I'm working with these young kids, and we're approaching different companies for funding. We're approaching called the National Youth Fund or something like that. But when I got frustrated, I started thinking, okay, I'm dealing with young kids who have graduated 4 years, some have done 5 years, masters in architecture. But these kids actually have potential. They can handle the interviews. They can provide some form of service. Most of them got the interns from the exposure that I gave them. But there's another population of young people who are unemployed who don't stand a chance.
No chance.
No chance whatsoever. Either they finished matric, didn't get any further. They finished grade 11, couldn't finish matric. And we have this situation where no matter what we design, we can design a Dubai in Joburg. But until we can get the spaces safe and secure, basically restoring law and order, we cannot develop anything. So let me switch things around and come up with an initiative where we can say, you know what, until we can restore law and order, there will be no development. We will be lying to ourselves. If we don't own the spaces and reclaim them, there is no way that we can move forward. We have millions of unemployed young people, not in education, not in training. That should be the focus, because then we can reclaim our spaces using their time that is available. Once we reclaim it, we can then redevelop those buildings using the designs that we have. So
wow.
That was
a big vision. It's a big vision.
That's the big vision, to say we have resources that are just idle. We have young people, and I'm not talking about thousands, I'm talking about millions. If this population of young people is left alone, Rob,
we have a problem.
We have a very serious problem. When I got introduced to townships, when I started living in townships, there were no drug addicts. There were specific townships that were known for having a drug problem. But most black townships didn't have a drug problem. And now you look at the Nyaope issue with addicts walking around our townships.
Has there been a disintegration?
Disintegration, and then they can literally steal your gate while you're standing in your front yard. That's how bad it is. So if we can take these people and train them to make these spaces safe. Think about it this way.
How
Rob.
do you do that, though?
Think about it this way, Rob. We have to do it by a form of make them part of the solution. Okay. What I was saying earlier today was I was looking at the money that political parties raise, the amount they raise for 2024 elections. ANC raises about 1.7 billion. They get about 12 million votes. EFF raises about 100 million. They get 1.4. They get 1.4 million. Freedom Front Plus raises about, I think they got about 70 million, and they got 450,000 votes. So I looked at the budget that they have that is raised for the fundraising that is done for elections. And I thought to myself, if I had the same budget, if I had 100 million rand,
what would you do with it?
I would take 1,000 young people in one specific area, train them in law enforcement, a 12-week training program where it's studying law enforcement. Basically, it's a certificate in law enforcement to understand all the laws and bylaws, and then work on their minds and mindset. What is South Africa? What do we have to lose? Why should we save this place? Why are you the one that is supposed to be the one to be looked at to say you can save this place? How to be patriotic. Train them. Uniform them. Get them on the streets.
Give them some pride.
Give them some pride. We'll give you a stipend. What you've given him is an opportunity to buy himself some clothes and food. You give them some sort of dignity in him. Number 2, you've made him patriotic. Number 3, he now believes in this place called South Africa. He does.
And starting with his community.
His street, with his community.
His town, his villages. Yeah.
100%. And he knows this place. Like I always say, if you go to most, whether it's a town or township, everybody, including 12-year-old kids, they know where drugs are sold.
Who's who in the zoo?
Yeah, they know where, except for the police. For some reason, the whole police station has got no idea which house sells drugs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so we can't go to them and say, we're going to give you jobs. Just give it. So walk in, give them some training, give them a solution.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
Just do it.
You said it yourself, Rob. Vote for proof, not promises.
Correct.
If anybody is going to change this country in 2029, it will not be through slogans and singing. The ANC already has the trademark on that one. We have to walk in, change communities. I mean, some of these places are not as big as you think. If you break down Soweto in its sections and break it down into 1,000
lots of little villages.
Small little sections. You got 10 guys there, 25 guys there. In the whole of Gauteng, for example, I'm using Gauteng because it's a small province and manageable. You have 1,000 people in there and what's going to happen now is they will be the ones to influence 10 other people, 100 other people to say, guys, we can take this thing back.
It's a movement. It's a movement.
We can restore this.
Beautiful.
It'll cost a lot of money, but it'll be worth it. Like I always ask 3 questions, Rob. Do you believe that there are criminal elements who are influencing politicians for control?
Yes.
Do you believe that there is a movement worldwide that is looking to replace our Christian Judeo values?
Sadly, yes.
Third and important question. How much do you think they're spending on that?
Billions.
So if we want to win that battle, we have to spend billions. If we don't spend money for this solution,
we will lose.
We're playing. And something that I will tell you that nobody's ever told you before. Any party in South Africa with a spear in its logo must be ended. That group of people are so evil that they have chosen to ignore the cries of young black people in townships, the cries of Indian people, the cries of colored people, the cries of white people. If I had to be president in 2029...
To get elected or?
To get elected. So I will call everybody in one boardroom and say, guys, we have this place called South Africa. We know our potential. We know what went wrong. We got rid of the spear people.
The spear people.
Let's fix this thing, guys. Let's bring not not ideologies, ideas.
Love it. I love this.
Somebody brings an idea, we break it down. Okay, how will this affect the poor? How will this affect housing?
And how do you make it happen?
How do you make it happen?
Execution.
How long do we have? We have 5 years. I'm telling you now, from 2029, the first 5 years from 2029, it's rebuilding. You have to rebuild the infrastructure, rebuild our railways, bring back education with value.
Yeah.
It's like politicians are just playing a game.
Correct.
And then the next thing, when the ANC comes on TV and say, revolution, first of all, against who?
They're in charge, aren't
They're
they?
in charge. How do you calculate a country's value? By GDP, right?
One way, yeah.
One way. So let's use GDP. It's $460 billion.
Yeah. New Zealand's like 370 billion. And our GDP is the same as Louisiana in America. One state.
Do we agree that it could be double that?
It could be triple.
$10 billion,
Easily.
$15 billion. Let's be business people now. Let's call South Africa an asset. If we want to rescue this asset, we know it's valuable. We understand its value. We know where it's been, where it should be at.
Correct.
So if it's worth $400 billion, how much are we willing to spend? South Africans spend 400 million rand on New Year's Eve on alcohol.
And look at gambling, how much people spend on
Gambling
gambling.
is
A third of social grants are spent on gambling.
It shows another element that is so evil.
Yeah.
If we want to rescue this country, get hold of it with good intentions, triple the GDP that, like you were saying, improve the lives of people by 3, 4, 5 times.
Which is doable.
It's doable. We have infrastructure in South Africa that is on the same par as European countries.
And the stuff that's broken is fixable.
It's fixable.
Yeah.
I mean, World War II, everything was bombed.
Correct. Germany
rebuilt
was
it.
flattened. Look at it now.
So 5 years, we are rebuilding this country. We are giving young people new hope.
So you saw what happened in El Salvador.
Yes.
Bukele.
That's my guy.
That's my guy too.
Yeah.
Millet. We're on the same page.
Yes.
Millet and Bukele. I mean, extraordinary human beings. So it can be done. Can be done very quickly. But we're in a situation where we're in the final period of the ANC.
Yes.
And they're introducing Bella and more BE and EWC, which is chasing away foreign direct investment, killing our GDP growth. Politics, even though I fully agree with you, ground up. But the top down is still influencing South Africa very heavily. And we do need a change desperately. So there's a political element that you haven't addressed. What do we do there?
Well, I think...
Will you stand?
As the running person?
Well, no, I think, I had a very good interview with Prince Mashele.
Yes.
He's an extraordinary guy.
Yes.
I love playing golf with him. Prince, we need to play more golf.
I watch his interviews like 3 times all the time.
Yeah, me too. And he said, his ears to the ground, there's a new movement coming. And I think it's a group of extraordinary South Africans. Black, white, colored Indian, green, yellow, whatever. And it's a group of dynamic business, people that are coming together to fix South Africa in a new movement, new political party.
Yes. Let's call it South Africa First movement.
Let's call it South Africa First. Where did you get that from?
I've been thinking about it.
I love it.
SA1,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
SA First, yes.
We do need something like that. So let's assume the DA stays at 22%.
Yes.
And which is pretty good. It's a quarter of the country. And that the parties with the spears, I love that.
Yeah.
Disappear.
We
need something new to come up. Because I think the Gogos are not quite ready they're beginning to desert the ANC, but they're not going to go to MK and EFF, and they're not ready to go to the DA.
They might go back to default settings.
That's the problem. Yes. We need to get the default setting removed.
Yeah.
The default setting.
Yes.
I love that.
I think
so isn't there something new that needs to come?
Yes, but I strongly believe this is the way to do it. Okay. It cannot be with rallies. It's not going to happen. Young people have switched off.
So we need to re-engage young people.
Yes. If you and I sit here, or we sat in a boardroom with the best economists and came up with the best economic rescue plan for South Africa.
Which I have.
Yes.
I can give it to you tomorrow.
If you take that plan to Diepsloot,
they're going to look like I'm crazy.
Listen, man.
Who's this crazy dude in a blue shirt?
Like, what are you talking about? So you don't even have to announce it. Walk in there and deal with. And I think the low-hanging fruit is safety. I think if you can demonstrate to people, you start in the townships, you go to towns, and
street
you go
by street, area by area,
clean up. And then when I talk about crime, I'm talking about illegal immigrants. I'm talking about
Drugs.
criminals. I'm talking about drug dealers. You make their lives uncomfortable.
This street is clean.
This
dare.
street is clean. It'll be chaotic at times because the police are gonna come and try and stop you. But if you have trained people who are qualified, look, I admire Operation Dudula a little because they're doing something.
So I was going to raise that with you. He's a cool dude.
My problem with Operation Dudula is that it's not organized. I feel like if these young people are first qualified, two disciplined, what happens now is this movement now becomes, even the GATVOL can say, you know what, I'm with those guys.
And what do you call your movement?
GATVOL, of course. So I'm saying,
So
the
the GATVOL
GATVOL Patrol Unit. What is a GATVOL Patrol Unit? Young people who were previously unemployed, trained in law enforcement.
GPU.
GPU.
You know what a GPU is? It's the most advanced processing unit for creating AI, compute, and hyperscaling. So I love GPU.
That's nice.
GATVOL.
On their
GPU.
chest right there,
I'm a GPU.
they're patrolling the streets. And the minute people start seeing the safety happening, because you will see it.
It spreads.
Yes. What happens
You
is,
add another street, you add another street.
think about a town. You
Okay.
rescue one building. You can open a bakery, a pharmacy, and have rental units, low-cost housing. What happens now is when the spaces are reclaimed, even the GoGo's 88 will be like, okay, you know what?
It works.
I feel safer now.
So how do you start this? You've begun it.
Yeah, so my idea is 2026, I'm raising funds. I'm on a fundraising mission, and it's not going to be cheap.
And have you got an area that you're going to focus on?
The reason I'm always in Gauteng is because Gauteng is small. If you have 1,000 trained GPU members that are patrolling the streets, you can move around easily, and then you can have a bigger impact.
But won't you choose one area first? Because you
Choose one. Let's say City of Joburg.
City of Joburg, really? That
City-
big, that bigger unit.
City of Joburg, maximum impact. We're going in. I'll give you an example now. We decide.
But won't you pick a block or 2 blocks first?
Yes. For example, everybody in Joburg knows Rosettenville is a problem. Drugs. They literally looted the post office to the foundations.
But aren't you now dealing with ANC gangsters, Nigerian? Aren't you now up against the really scary?
Okay, let me break it down in steps. You start in the townships.
Everyone knows everyone else.
Everybody knows everybody else. You get the criminality out. We're knocking on doors. We're looking for things. And then once you gain that momentum, you move it into the towns.
Got it. Okay.
Randburg,
I'm with you.
yes.
I'm with you.
Because now what happens now is the impact will be felt in Soweto. If you're in Soweto with 1,000 qualified guys, when they see that uniform, they see trust. When they see that uniform, they see safety. You know what? I'm going to start walking to the taxi rank by myself. That hasn't happened in a long time. I can now go to my auntie's house after sunset because these guys are working. Once people see in their immediate environment the change happening, you can multiply that by 10. So if you've got 1,000 patrollers, in practice, you actually have 100,000.
So what you need is a training school.
Camp.
You need a training. I like
on
this.
a camp.
Cost cutting.
Yes.
Camp.
So
you have a
this
training camp.
Yes.
You have a 4-week or whatever it takes to develop the people.
Yes.
You'll have no doubt great people applying. You have an area that you're going to do it in. So you've got it. It's very projectable as a business.
Yes.
I mean, you can project the funding, you can project, and you can do KPIs. KPI is there, as crime collapsed in that area.
Yes, it's measurable.
It's very measurable. And how long are they in there to be trained?
12 weeks.
Like basic training in the army.
Yeah, but then you need 1 month of physical training.
Get them healthy.
Get them fit. Any bad habits are out. So we want a situation where we take a guy out of Soweto into the camp. When he comes back,
18,
you do all the vetting. I mean, in South Africa, young people, youth go up to 35.
So this, in a way, is military service.
And then, remember, the campaigning is outdated. You are literally building a government.
Bottom up.
Bottom up. Because this guy leaves the township or whatever area that is in. When he comes back, his mother will be the first one to recognize the change.
Because he'll be standing straight, his shoulders back.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, politeness.
Thank you. He's polite. He's focused. All all the bad habits are out of his system. This guy's job is to clean up. This guy's job is to make sure that that street where people used to kill each other and rob each other.
And while he's being trained, he or she, while they're being trained,
Yes,
in the 12 weeks, feed them, clothe them, give them faith, God, flag, teach them values, culture, and fitness too.
And
Fitness, flag, family, faith.
family. You give them a reason to live. You give them a reason to go out and do something. For me, I believe the bottom-up approach will work.
I agree.
If you're talking about 100 million rand, if you multiply that by 100 and 100 and 100, that's how far it can go. But the bottom line is that when this guy comes back, he's a new man.
Yeah.
He's a new man.
Mum and granny will see it in their eyes.
Immediately when he walks through that door with the bag, the GATVOL bag, he walks in, they'll be like, that's a new guy.
So you need to put the GPU project plan and business plan together. You probably know how to do it, but
It's coming to you, Rob.
Are you really doing it?
Yes, it's coming to you,
Done.
Rob. Yes.
Okay, good.
You must check gatvol.org.za.
GATVOL.org.za.
Yes. Somebody once asked me, what if you train them and then they use the same skills to commit crime? I said, then the training failed.
But here's the interesting thing. Those people are very hireable in business
Yes.
after their training.
100%.
You've created a training school for good human beings.
A good human being. For the 12 weeks, they're doing online training and exams, but also getting physical.
Lovely.
We have self-defense stuff, tactical training.
How to handle difficult situations and the psychological element of it. To
100%.
stay calm under pressure.
Let me tell you where I get this thing from. In 1995, I was 14 years old and I joined a karate class.
You look like a bit of a martial arts dude.
So our idea of joining a karate class is that, you know what, we're going to join this. We're going to become the Bruce Lee. And then we're just going to walk down the street and just start causing trouble. And then we walk in the class, 14 years old. The first thing the instructor tells us, we were so disappointed. This guy says to us, guys, karate is about discipline. We're thinking, what the hell is this guy talking about? We want to go and break, we want to go break necks. We want to get into...
Yeah, but that's true.
Yeah, he says, so what happens now is a person who is trained does not have violence. A person who's well-trained stops the violence.
Correct.
So training, discipline, focus. You create a new person.
So can I tell you my funny story now?
Yes.
And I love the concept of anyone with a
Anyone
spear.
with a spear must just go.
So I was on a business investor trip to Angola.
Mhm.
It must be about 10 years ago. And the British embassy there had organized for us to meet the prime minister, the president of Angola. I've forgotten his name 10 years ago. It was the corrupt guys had been booted out. This is the new guy who'd come in. I think he's still in power. And he was looking for foreign investors. And there were about 14 of us, like from Dubai, from London, from South Africa, all representing an industry, a company, and looking to invest in Angola.
Mm.
And I was standing with the British ambassador who was Welsh lady. She had like this dragon tattoo on her leg. And by then we'd been 2 hours going from room to room.
Exhausting.
And I was chatting to the Minister of Agriculture and the Minister of Telecommunications. And I don't know why I said it, but I was looking up and they had the flag on the wall. And I said, you want foreign direct investment, don't you? And the ministers said, yes, we do. Yes, we do. I said, I've got a suggestion. Maybe you should change your flag. And they looked at me and said, well, I said, having a AK-47 in your flag is not really friendly. Maybe you should change it. And there was this dead silence. I could hear the British ambassador was going, I could hear her.
Don't do it.
And the guy looked at me, he said, what do you mean? And I said, and then I realized, these guys are probably my age. South Africa had invaded them. There was the war, MPLA, UNITA, South African Defense Force. And I suddenly thought, uh-oh. And I said, maybe you should have like a topless lady and a waterfall.
Something attractive.
Holding a couple of melons or bananas. Like, so
or maybe like sunshine.
With a waterfall. And then the guys sort of went, and they started laughing and everything.
That makes a lot of sense.
Anyway, the ambassador walked me aside and said, do not raise that topic when you meet the president. But I mean, why have an AK-47 in your flag? It's not very friendly. So I love your spear analogy.
Rob, I'm saying this for the third time.
Oh.
South
Anyway, I
Africa's-
survived my trip to Angola.
You
They didn't hang me. Yeah.
But that was the best suggestion, I'm telling you. So I'll say this for the third time. The parties with a spear in their logo
Must go.
if we don't get rid of them, Rob,
They're bad guys.
they're fighting ghosts, right? They're fighting the apartheid ghosts.
Correct.
And now they want to drag us with them. So it's like, hence I'm saying to you that when I watch Ramaphosa this weekend at that empty stadium he was talking at in the rural Northwest, he says, revolutionary greetings. Okay. And he says, Mnangagwa also from the president of Zimbabwe says hello. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, number one, a revolution against who? Because a revolution happened in 1994, and I believe another revolution happened in 2024 when you got 40%. Number two, so Mnangagwa is your guy. If I had to be in charge of this country one day, Rob, one thing that I'm going to do would be very un-African. We need to start calling each other out. This African thing where
respect for elders,
even though they're messing up, and then we just like brush it off. And then if I was president of this country today, I'll call a few people in Africa. Actually, forget about Africa, in SADC. And I want to know, listen, man, what are you doing over there? Because I'm dealing with your problems in South Africa. You are having a situation where you have destroyed your country. When you took over from Mugabe, everybody celebrated. You literally just continued doing what he was doing. And now we are having to deal with the influx of people coming from your country. And then if you are my brother, I should be able to tell you the truth.
You know, I tell it like it is.
We cannot have a situation where people are destroying their own countries and we are paying the price, but you don't want to talk about it. So I've got a younger brother. He's only 6 years younger than me. But when he's out of order, I call him out. When I'm out of order, he says, listen, man, we need to talk.
Calls you out.
He calls me out. That's why we get along, because I could be angry at the time and say, this guy is disrespecting me and I'm older than him. But when I'm sitting at home, I'm thinking, okay,
So tell me about Mike GATVOL. Where did you grow up? Give me a little bit of the GATVOL story.
I grew up in Limpopo, rural Limpopo. So I spent the first 17 years of my life in Limpopo. And I actually did my matric on candlelight.
Did you really?
Yeah. So in 98, when I was doing matric, I was studying on candlelight.
You didn't even have a kerosene lamp.
No, candlelight, gas stoves, no electricity.
Seriously?
Yes.
So you came from nothing.
I came from a situation where school fees was probably 10 rand a year. And there were still kids being chased away from school because they didn't pay their fees. But I think we had it better than most kids. I never went to school without shoes or anything like that. But there were families that were going through that. And looked after animals, go to school, come back.
Did you have mama and dad?
Mom and dad, but they were in Joburg. So it was one of so my dad worked for South African breweries, all his life, really, 40 plus years doing security. My mom was a domestic worker. So half the time we'll be with my mom, but most of the times they'll be in Joburg together. So it would be just me and my siblings, maybe a helper. But like I said, it's a terrible place, but we didn't have it that bad. My dad still had, modes of transport, cars, but it's one of those places. I think electricity was probably done after 2002, 2003, somewhere there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Different worlds.
Different worlds.
I won't upset people watching this, tell you about my upbringing, but
yeah, we shouldn't.
I think you know.
Yeah, I know.
We 100%. Owned airplanes. You just leave it like that.
Yeah, we just saw them go over the village.
Did you look at them and say, "How the hell does that thing fly through?"
Yeah,
I'm just joking. Just joking.
No, we actually looked at them and we called them flying machines. We just looked at them.
Well, they are flying machines.
They are flying machines, but we didn't know the word aeroplane.
So you did matric. You did matric, and you did homework, and you walked a long way to school, and
walked to school. Lunchtime, you run back home, grab lunch, and run back to school. But there was a level of discipline about it because, so the transition happened and I went to University of Pretoria and I started becoming informatics.
And graduated.
Graduated, but also doing business at the same time.
And not by candlelight this time.
No, not by candlelight this time. So as I was studying, I had a mentor. So this guy is a policeman in Randburg, but he comes from the same village.
Interesting.
And he also runs a security company. So when I have assignments at school, he will let me use his laptop once in a while. So I had a mentor very early in life. He wasn't really articulate or anything like that, but he was a hardworking man.
And he cared.
He cared, yes. So he'll pick me up, take me out for lunch. If we have a trip for Christmas to Limpopo, he will come pick me up. So he was like an older brother, because I don't have an older brother. He was like an older brother to me. So I think when it comes to discipline from my parents, and then when I got into university, I'm spending time with him, and he's a businessman. So I've got to learn a few things from him. And he got me involved in his business as well. We would talk a lot back then. So if he's having meetings, he could call me to come in.
So you graduated from university,
Yes.
and then what did you do?
So now, the reason I'm telling the laptop story is because what will happen is we'll have those year-end projects. So it's IT, we're doing programming, we're designing databases, different projects that we're doing. And so I'll do a project, save it on his laptop, get it on a floppy disk. Remember the floppy disk? And then give the laptop back.
I'm 65.
Yeah, you should know the floppy disk.
That's recent floppy disks.
Yeah, that was like late 90s.
Like yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when I was doing my third year, so I'm doing this school project. I think it was really good. So I give him back the laptop. And then one day he calls me and says, I'm seeing this thing that you've done on the laptop. What is it? And I tell him, listen, man, I designed a program to run a school registration system, because in 2001, some schools in the townships and villages were still using typewriters. So, but then this program basically is like what you find in a normal high school now, where you get the details of the students, report printing. Basically, it's a admin
data
software.
Inputting and
data
software.
Inputting, printing, and all of that. Yes. And he says, hey, man, we can sell it, right? And I said, yeah. Sell it to who? He says, no, you said it's a school management system.
Right, sell it to schools.
So why don't we approach schools and sell the software? And I said, well, I can do it. I mean, we can meet them, understand what their needs are, and then provide the services to them. And that's how I got into business with him. So immediately in the third year, we're getting into business.
Great.
Yeah, so we go as far as Mpumalanga, Malelani, Limpopo. We approach schools. Obviously, there was no social media back then. So you have to literally go to the individual schools, do a presentation, and they buy into it. And that came with some computers, printing.
And you sold your first contract?
Yes.
Sorry, you went and asked them what they needed, understood the product need, built the product.
Yes.
And sold it, started building. And what was that business called?
It was SIT Solutions. I remember one guy said, guys, if you give me a bad service, I'm going to put the H and call it shit solutions.
Yeah, exactly.
It was SIT Solutions. Yeah. And then we had a computer school in Randburg, but it was an after-hours school. You know, people underestimate how people didn't have computer skills back then. So this is 2001, 2002. So people who are working full-time come to the school after hours and learn just your normal Office, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint. Basics. So that's how I transitioned from university to him. And then I'll continue the story on how I met somebody else from there.
Wow. And was that a successful business?
It was a successful business because I got my first place, my first car.
And did you made money with salary, income, profitability? Did you sell the business? Did the business wind down? What happened? Just give us.
So how
what happened to SIT without the H?
Without the H. Yeah. So how the business winded down is that we actually ended up getting a contract from the Department of Communications back then to install this program in 6 nursing schools in Mpumalanga. And then now we are approaching 2003. So like I told you, he's doing security. So he's doing security for a developer, Aubrey Schneider. Okay. So because I could really talk, so every time they have meetings, he asked me to tag along. And one day the developer said to me, what do you do? I said, no, I'm the regional manager. He says, don't talk nonsense, man. What region?
How old are you then?
I'm 23. And that's how I meet Aubrey Schneider. And Aubrey says to me, hey, man, maybe security is not your thing. Because he's assuming that I'm doing security. And he says, what do you know about property? And I said, like, nothing. I don't know anything about property. So do you want to give it a try? I said, I don't know. He says, okay, come weekends, meet my sales guys over the weekend. And maybe one day during the week, come and see what we do on site. And if you like it, I'll give you a job. And after about 2 weekends, I'm like, I think I like this. So there's not much traveling. So then I joined a property development company in 4 weeks. And that's how I got into the property business.
And what did you do initially for them?
So we were doing sales.
And I want to do this because there'll be a lot of young viewers on the show who want to know how to get into business.
Yeah. So the tryout was
Yeah.
come on the weekend and see how the sales guys do the selling of the houses.
So I love salespeople.
Yes.
Okay, I think sales is the ultimate in fellow
Talk about
sales.
business without saying.
What were you selling? Were you selling lots on development off plan?
Off plan,
Got it,
yes.
off
So
plan.
you have to go through the whole plan.
Yeah, here's what it's going to look like.
Yes, show them the plots. And I thought, that's easy. But then during the week, you have to be on site.
Correct.
Because they're also doing the construction. And I said, I think I can do this. He said, okay, I'm not going to give you much. So you're going to make most of your money from
Commission.
But because you like site, then your salary will be better than the sales guys because Monday to Friday, you'll be in a Hyundai Bakkie with the guys going to site. So I enjoyed the Monday to Friday because I felt like I enjoyed learning about the bricks and the concrete and the measurements, the finishes, meeting with clients about interior design, color.
So you're not even 25 now.
Yeah. So
And you've done an informatic, a database
development,
system,
yes.
development of schools. You've done real estate sales, but also some real estate development learning.
Yes.
Now what do you do?
After 2 years, I felt like, you know what? I've learned enough. In 2005, I'm starting my own company.
Yeah, baby.
Yes.
I love this.
Yes. But also at the same time, in 2005, the property market was just crazy.
Correct.
We're starting to...
So you'd started your business.
I started my business.
As a real estate developer.
Yes. But then now, because of the finances, I'm doing plot and plan.
Which is what?
Which is Rob comes in looking for a house. So I look for a plot in a nice estate.
Got it. And you recommend, buy this plot, we'll build your house.
The whole process, we buy this plot, get an architect, do the designs. Yeah. We get you the finance through the bond and then build the whole thing.
Got it. Good. That's been a good business.
That's been a good business.
So tell me about Mike GATVOL, the podcaster. So how did that happen? Just tell me how you fell into that. And
what happened?
I love your shows, by the way.
Thank you so much.
And I love the fact that you all wound up after running and
I just go in.
Yeah.
What happened is, I've been in business for 20 years. I've spent a lot of money on social media. I spent a lot of money on marketing experts. And when I was thinking about GATVOL, remember, I'm in the GATVOL mode. I worked out something, Rob. Nobody knows how social media works. I've paid people monthly fees to run a social media campaign. With GATVOL, I decided, you know what?
Tell the truth.
Actually, before my first GATVOL TikTok post, I've never been on social media.
Me neither. February the 3rd, 2025 was the first time I was ever on social media. Not even a year ago.
Yeah, I had a Facebook account from 2017. I probably have one post. I've got an Instagram. And after 10 years, I'm trying to log in. I don't remember. But it was the first time where I was invested, where I... YouTube and TikTok. Because I worked out that, you know what? I think DJ's Boo said this once. Just press record.
I like DJ's Boo.
Don't worry too much about your background. Am I too shiny? People want to hear what you have to say.
Like Sama Sambit with his pillow.
With his pillow.
Well, that pillow is going to be worth a fortune.
100%. Yeah. I look at a guy like that, I'm thinking...
He can do it.
He just sits on the couch. He's much younger than me. He just says what he wants. If you don't like what I'm saying, you know what? That's your thing. I'm going to talk to people who want to listen to me. And then I'll go through the comments after. And I just did it.
But you're going to keep doing your Mike GATVOL.
Definitely.
But your main podcasts are more about now the GPU project.
100%. So people that I'm talking to that are subscribing and following me is, okay, guys, we have a fundraisers meeting at this hotel on this day.
Great.
We meet there. We give feedback about the next one. We've raised this. We need to have momentum on this.
Okay. Well, I'm going to introduce you to tons of investors.
Thank you so much.
We're going to help you. All the Truth Reporters are going to help you with your project.
The target is 100 million rand, Rob.
That's it?
To start with.
I thought you were going to be...
For the pilot, we need to make sure it works.
I've got a business called Lion Cage, which promotes investment opportunities for people. I'm going to introduce you to Gerrit. We're going to profile it there. We're going to get other Truth Reporters to promote it. And we're going to move it forward on that basis. Mike, that's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be fantastic. I believe that if anybody who wants to run South Africa one day, Rob, we can use the ANC approach, where we just put wool over people's eyes.
Do you think the youth of South Africa is seeing that? Do you think there's a shift happening?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
You know what happened in 2024? During the elections, a lot of political parties felt very betrayed. There were people, especially in KZN, they'll go to a MK rally, get the T-shirt, get the stock, get the spear, get the lunch, and then from there they'll go to the EFF one.
get the same.
Yeah, get the same thing. And then now, after elections, everybody's like, hey, what happened to everybody that told us they want to vote for us? So people are also using the system. I mean, if you are unemployed and you'll be sitting home for 7 years and there's an opportunity to get on a bus,
Correct.
get food.
But when will the Gogos realize that the ANC hasn't delivered, it's failed them, it's not the Liberation Army, and I guess they're looking for an alternative.
My mom is 72.
Is she a Gogo?
She's a Gogo.
Who's she voting for?
She's going to vote for the person she voted for in 94.
Is she?
Yeah, because my mom's background is that she won't understand the idea of tax collection. So if you told my mom that somebody stole government money,